Fox 35 Late News at 11 starts now.
Two big stories we're following tonight from the Trump administration. Fallout from a federal funding freeze, what's impacted and who's upset. Plus, breaking now, Florida lawmakers just approved a major immigration bill. Thanks for meeting me at 11. I'm Marlisa Goldsmith. The move dedicates $500 million to President Donald Trump's enforcement efforts. The bill requires full cooperation from federal immigration authorities and establishes a state immigration office. Now, this comes on the same day as cities across the country and here in Florida are seeing raids by immigration and customs enforcement, also known as ICE. It's a direct response to President Donald Trump's immigration reform policies. But how will this impact Central Florida? Hannah McKenzie spoke with Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood to find out. So, Hannah, has the sheriff heard of any raids or roundups happening here locally?
No, Marlisa, not yet. He said to the best of his knowledge, he hasn't heard of anything local, but he added that doesn't mean they aren't coming. He also told me that he and his deputies will be doing things a little bit differently from here on out.
All right, so one thing that's important to know here, if you're a victim or a witness to a crime, then you're here illegally. Florida law protects you from being deported. So that's still the case, right, Hannah?
That is exactly the case, Marlisa. And in fact, Sheriff Chitwood wanted to get that point across. He says that there are basically things that you can qualify to get that protection here in the state of Florida. And one of the qualifications includes that the victim or the witness of this crime must cooperate with law enforcement in investigating the alleged crime, Marlisa.
Definitely good to know. Hannah, thanks so much. Turning now to outer space, 7 months, 23 days. That's how long NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams have spent stuck on the International Space Station. Now, Elon Musk says SpaceX will step up and get them home. Fox 35's Chancellor Wynn is on the Space Coast tonight. So, Chancellor, explain what this means for our two astronauts.
Well, Marlisa, it means there is hope that our two astronauts could be home by summer, but that all comes down to Elon Musk and his company's ability to get a rocket up there in order to bring them back down here. Now, official flight plans need to be submitted before SpaceX can actually get that approval, so there is still a lot of planning that needs to take place in order for SpaceX to get a rocket up there in order to bring home our two American astronauts. But for now, reporting live on the Space Coast, Chancellor Wynn, Fox 35 News.
Chancellor, thanks so much. Get ready, get ready. The 80s are making a comeback, and we don't mean the decade either. Friday, we are warming up back to the Florida that we all know and love. Get a look at that, 84 degrees. Meteorologist Noah Berggren joins us now. So, Noah, what's the carrot at the end of the stick, and what do we have to do in order to get there?
Thankfully, Marlisa, not much.
No catch.
It's pretty smooth, smooth.
Okay.
Between here and being home free, and it's going to be a great day Friday. I mean, not to get you in trouble, but if you got a sick day, personal day, you've been banking away, take a half day. If you're just looking for a great day of weather, Friday might be the day to sneak out early if you could, if that helps. This is going to be awesome Friday. A warm sunshine, low humidity. Here's the highs today: 80 in Miami, 73 Orlando, 73 Ocala, 72 in Tampa, 77 in Melbourne. Right now, temps, big spread based on where you are. It's 44 in Gainesville, 50 in Ocala, a little chilly. Marion County up to Alachua County, just 61 though, Orlando. So comfortable, mild to actually chilly. 49 Palm Coast, 54 New Smyrna, 55 Titusville, 59 Cocoa Beach, 57 currently in Melbourne. All right, temperatures tomorrow morning, about 44 in Gainesville, 48 in the Villages, 47 DeLand, Deltona, 49 Sanford, 50 in Orlando, 52 Winter Haven, 48 New Smyrna, 42 Palm Coast, and 52 in Cocoa Beach. So no rain tonight, no rain really through at least Saturday morning. I'll show you that in the hour-by-hour forecast coming up in a few minutes. Marlisa.
All right, Noah, thanks so much. Here are a few stories happening across the country that you'll want to know about before bed. First up, President Donald Trump is acting on his promise to save money in the federal budget. Today, roughly 2 million federal workers were offered buyouts to leave their jobs. That buyout is worth 8 months of their pay. All federal workers qualify, and we'll have to just wait and see how many actually take the deal. Next up, President Trump is still pushing the envelope to add Greenland to the United States, but it's causing a few problems. Denmark claims Greenland as its own, so it's increasing investments in the giant island chain. Trump says he doesn't really know what claim Denmark has of Greenland, but he would find it, quote, very unfriendly if they blocked the move. And 28 years later, one of hip-hop's biggest mysteries could finally be solved. The man accused of murdering Tupac Shakur was in court this morning, but for something unrelated to Tupac's death. He's accused of attacking a prisoner while behind bars. Prosecutors say he confessed to killing Tupac. That case is due back in court in mid-March. New tonight, New Smyrna Beach just banned smoking and vaping in public. Commissioners voted to ban it during a regular council meeting earlier this evening. Kelsey Cairns joins us live tonight. So, Kelsey, this new ordinance seems to be a welcome decision.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Marlisa. And that's because everyone who came to the stand tonight during public comment seemed to be in agreement with the council that this is long overdue. Now, the council members here in New Smyrna Beach tonight came on what they promised to do, right? They made sure that they addressed this in this agenda item. Now, when I spoke to Mayor Fred Cleveland earlier this evening, he explained in a statement sent to us that our mission is to maintain and or improve the quality of life for our residents. I certainly trust that the reasonableness of this ordinance fills that bill for all users of our parks. That's what he said in that statement. Marlisa.
All right, so Kelsey, when would this go into effect?
Well, that's the big question that all of us are asking tonight, Marlisa, is when this will go into effect and how you'll be penalized if you're caught smoking or vaping in New Smyrna Beach public beaches or public parks. So we're still waiting on that guidance from New Smyrna Beach. As soon as we get that info, we'll update you right here on Fox 35. For now, reporting live for the late news at 11, I'm Kelsey Cairns. Back to you.
I know you'll stay on top of it for us, Kelsey. Thanks so much. Well, move over ChatGPT. DeepSeek AI is coming in hot. The president and government officials are ramping up efforts to make sure the U.S. isn't playing catch up in the AI world. Now, a big part of that has to do with access to hardware. American tech company NVIDIA was leading the charge, but they took a serious blow when DeepSeek was announced. The president says new executive orders are in the works to help.
The release of DeepSeek AI from a Chinese company should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser-focused on competing to win.
Meanwhile, Microsoft and OpenAI are teaming up to roll out a version of ChatGPT specifically for government workers to use that's more secure. First, it was the Gulf of America. Next, it's a mountain range. We find out if you are going to start seeing these new names President Donald Trump is proposing on Google Maps. Plus, police say an attempted shoplifting spree ended with a pair of NFL-style tackles. We'll show you the two suspects who had very different strategies for trying their best to get away. But first, our night lights take us to Philly. You are looking at the Link, also known as Lincoln Financial Field. Fans here went nuts on Sunday after the Eagles' big win. Now they're headed to the Super Bowl, which you can watch right here on Fox 35 in just a couple of weeks. The late news at 11 will be right back. Don't go too far.
Fox 35 News is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Well, the Gulf of America, it's the name change that made waves as one of the first big moves made by President Donald Trump. An Alaskan mountain range could also be next. But is Google Maps following suit? Kendall Green found out map makers really don't know what to plan for. Well, the storm team has been hard at work tracking the next big thing for our forecast. Meteorologist Noah Bergman is joining us now. So, Noah, that next big thing is heat, my friend. There you are.
Yeah, Marlisa, and it's going to be great really for a long while. It's going to be a little cloudy on Saturday, but, January, kind of dull, chilly. February, very different. And I think you're going to love the sunshine being back. It just makes you smile. That's why we're here in Florida. Temperatures tonight, comfortable. There's the view from iDrive. Other than a little traffic on I-4, but that's normal. Things are A-OK. Here's the temperature contrast from last week to this week. 50s and 40s for highs. This week we're about 20 to 30 degrees warmer, and the warmest will be Friday at about 84 in Orlando. All right, radar's quiet tonight. No rain through at least Friday. Saturday, just a small sprinkle chance. That's about it. But we're in drought. We're in the second stages of drought now on a scale of 1 to 5 you see up there. And that covers a large part of the Florida Peninsula. And this is a trend that dates back since just after Hurricane Milton. I did some quick number looking today and research. These are the rain departures since the day after Milton, which was early October. We're 4 inches of rain below average since Milton. And there's really no big rain chances on the horizon anytime soon. So that will be just something to put on the back burner, back of our heads as we go through the, if you can believe it, already the latter half and latter quarter here of winter and start to look ahead to spring. Does that dry trend continue? All right, so over the next few days, lots of sunshine, a little bit of fog each morning, but not a lot. On Friday, southerly wind pumps up those temperatures. Here comes that front. I don't think there's a lot of rain here on Saturday. It may be a handful of showers, but here's the temps Friday. 84 to land Sanford, 84 Orlando. Wouldn't shock me if somewhere when we show the high temperature map in the evening newscast Friday, somewhere has an 85 spot on here. Wouldn't be a surprise at all to close out January. All right, so looking ahead to February, the first 2 weeks, warm to very warm in the south in Florida. Cold to very cold in the high plains in the Pacific Northwest. Several chances for snow, Chicago, Minneapolis, the Dakotas, a lot of rain in Seattle, but a complete pattern shift in the jet stream denoted by the black arrows there. And there still could be a cold front or two that makes it to Florida in February, but certainly the pattern is warm. And all the way through March 1st, very warm things look in the south, very cold in the north. All right, so let's put it all together. Here's the 7-day. Tomorrow, low 70s, fog early in the morning. Near to 80 on Thursday, mostly sunny. Humidity still low for the next really couple of months. The humidity doesn't really start to poke into central Florida and stay until at the earliest the end of April, if not early May. So even though it's going to start getting warmer, humidity is still absent, so that's nice. 84 or so Friday. A lot of clouds Saturday, maybe a morning or midday shower. Should clear out late in the day. Then for the Pro Bowl Sunday, great. Lots of sunshine, temperatures upper 70s, and still fantastic heading into the first full week of February next week.
Just ahead, dinner and a show. Check this out. Customers and cooking staff at a Chili's got all riled up when a police chase ended inside of the busy restaurant. We have the POV. Plus, let's face it, we all have days where we come close to reaching our breaking point. And now there's a place where you can go to let out all of your rage.
Hey! Get out of Hey, hold it here. Hey!
A police officer's view tonight with a pair of shoplifting suspects in Colorado. That was the first suspect. As you might have seen, police say he was in the process of wheeling out a shopping cart full of stolen stuff. He tried holding still when he dashed back in the store, but the second suspect just kept running. In fact, he gave a whole bunch of people something to talk about over dinner when he tried sprinting through a Chili's. Take a look.
Police, stop! Jesus! Hey, please stop right there! Get down! They're trying to kill me! No, we're not! Help me! They're trying to kill me! Help me! Get out!
Ooh, that was a pretty hard tackle there by the officer. It was hard to hear, but at one point the suspect yelled, "They're trying to kill me." The officer managed to reply even mid-sprint, "No, we're not." By the way, the restaurant applauded after the entire ordeal. All right, if scam text and emails weren't bad enough, crooks have added a new weapon to the arsenal. Voicemails that sound like real people, but they're not. They're computerized or AI voices reading prompts, and they're getting scary good at impersonating people in real jobs like loan officers and tax workers.
You can now apply for them to be forgiven through the Zero Tax Balance program.
It sounds like a real person.
You just need to verify a few final details.
Oh, bless her heart. The scam is always the same, folks. Who or whatever it is wants to sucker you in order for you to give up personal information. Now, a good rule of thumb these days, don't share any information with anyone who calls or texts you out of the blue. All right, we've told you about these kinds of places before, but they're getting pretty popular now. Therapy through smashing stuff. Businesses like this one have all sorts of breakables ready for you to pick up your weapon of choice, gear up, and let her rip. This one's called Smash Therapy. It's in New York, and it's a whole lot cheaper than the real kind. Jokes aside, though, people say they like to stop by to blow off some of that extra steam.
It's like venting, but physically, and it's accomplishing the same thing.
I tell everyone when they go in the room, scream bloody murder for all I care.
Now, the best part is you get to leave it all out there. Literally. You don't even have to clean up your own mess when you're done. We like that type of therapy. Well, big box stores we've known since we were kids are dropping like flies. What's causing them to all close up shop? We'll take a deeper look into it next.
Fox Local is Fox 35, live news and more. On your phone, on your TV, Fox Local is built for you. Fox Local.
It's becoming a familiar scene. Empty storefronts that used to house some of your favorite stores. It could get even worse as a new study reveals a record number of chain stores are set to close their doors for good this year. Kendall Green has the latest big box brands that are starting to vanish.
All right, temperatures tomorrow morning about 70 to 74 for the highs it'll look like in the afternoon. Now, these icons do say fog, but that fog is just patchy and it's early before about 9 or so in the morning. And then after that, it's a mostly sunny Wednesday for you coming up in central Florida. All right, so that's for tomorrow. A little bit of a light northerly wind, but that wind will switch around. Tomorrow it's from the north-northwest, and then it starts to become from the east. And then eventually by the weekend or Friday, it becomes a southerly wind. Now, anytime you see a cold front on a weather map, the day before it often gets very warm because you're compressing the atmosphere. So you see that blue line. This is Friday, hence why Friday is so much warmer, because the atmosphere is compressing and it gets warm. That coupled with southerly winds on Friday, it'll get really warm here. Wouldn't shock me if a lot of places away from both coasts get to 84 or 85. Meanwhile, right on the beach of both sides of the peninsula, probably 10, 15 degrees lower thanks to a small sea breeze that might develop. So sunny the next few days, a couple of clouds Saturday morning, maybe a shower. 78 Sunday for the Pro Bowl, 80 on Monday. But all in all, as we head into the first few days of February, looking much, much better.
I would agree, Noah. Thanks so much. And thank you for meeting me tonight at 11. Hope you have a great night and an even better tomorrow. We'll see you then.